Yeah, and you can utilize many different strategies at the top of that funnel. It's just making sure that what's at the top aligns with the bottom. So what I mean by that is making sure that every element is consistent. So at the top of the funnel, for example, if the top of the funnel is an advert on social media for a weight loss program, I don't know why it's the first thing that came to my head, but let's
just look at me.
Let's
just coming far.
Brilliant.
I'm trying my best.
Right, welcome back to Fly High Media Talks. It's good to have you back. And today we are going to be talking about something fairly practical that a lot of people don't have much awareness around. We just wanted to give that a value out to anyone that wants to learn more about this and how this works and what it is essentially. So, sales funnels. What is a sales funnel? It's a piece of jargon, if I'm honest, to be honest.
It's a buzzword.
It is a buzzword. Yeah, it's not something you can touch. It's not a piece of software. It's not really something you can use physically. But what it allows you to do is to differentiate customers at different stages along the sales process. There's a lot of marketing involved in it, so it's not strictly sales. But what a sales funnel essentially is if you imagine like a funnel going from the top to bottom, like an actual funnel that you would siphon water through. You pour in a bigger amount of water at the top, and a smaller amount of water comes out of not smaller, but in the smaller stream comes out at the bottom. What a sales funnel is, at the top you would have things like search engine optimization or Facebook advertising or pay-per-click advertising, which we're going to dive into in a second. The second stage might be, so what you want to do with them, you're getting traffic from SEO, they go to the website, which is the next stage. On the website, you want them to download an ebook, for example, or opt into a newsletter. That's the next stage. When they have the ebook, you have the email in an email list. That's the next stage.
It's called own traffic.
It's the traffic you own. So you immediately going from traffic that's basically on your website, traffic you own, i.e. you have their email address in your database. From there, you go down to potentially a 15-minute discovery call. So we like to get on a no obligation call with clients to figure out what issues they're having and what solution we can provide. And that's something they get after they've potentially been in our email list, been speaking to us on LinkedIn. Not straight away, first thing they call. People don't really jump around the funnel that much, but sometimes they do. And then from there, it's after the 15-minute call, they go down to potentially a sale. We put together a proposal and they go down to a sale. And it works like that in pretty much all businesses that if you're using that model. But what that allows you to do is to have, for example, 1,000 people at the top of the funnel. That would be your traffic. Let's say you get 1,000 views per month. Not all 1,000 of those are going to download an ebook, for example. Let's say 200 of those download an ebook. So the further down the funnel you go, the amount of people that are in it decreases. But what increases is the probability of them purchasing because they're still there. So the longer the journey they're willing to make, the more likely they are to buy. And then equally, 200 people download it, 180 don't open it, 20 open it. 10 people book a call with you, 5 of them don't have a budget, 5 of them buy. And it just sort of siphons people down from the time wasters, the people that don't have the budget, the people that you're not a right fit for, down to the very few, but the ones that do make the sale, down at the bottom. So let's jump into the awareness stage, for example, which is right at the top of the funnel, that what we call it, which is gathering that market, that target audience. So from your perspective, SEO, pay-per-click, and Facebook advertising, how does that work at the top of the funnel? How people can leverage it?
Yeah, so at the top of the funnel, people don't know who you are at all, unless it's by sheer coincidence. It's quite unlikely. So, for example, someone's got a pain point. So, for example, for us, if someone's looking for SEO services, then they type in SEO Manchester and something like that. SEO services, local SEO. They come to our website. So let's say we get 1,000 hits a month. We get about 1,000 hits a month on like one service page. Let's say it's SEO. And then they find out the information. We either want them to opt in for a contact form, or there's resources on there. So download an ebook. If you don't have SEO, you don't want to use that. Then you can use YouTube, for example. That's a way to get people into the funnel. If you want to do paid media, then you can do pay-per-click, so Google AdWords, Bing. You can do Facebook ads, that kind of thing, Instagram ads. So that gets people who've never heard of you before into the funnel a lot quicker than SEO. But that's how you get them to the top of the funnel. These people, you probably spend most of your budget at the top of the funnel because you're trying to find the right people. So
and from there, it's basically a selection process of who stays, who goes, essentially, and that's up to the people because they have to choose to opt in. They do. If they don't, then they don't. In terms of your website, there's many things you can do on that. I use the ebook example, but there's many things you can do. You can have people download a video, opt into a free course, a video case study. Yeah, ones that we've used in the past were, instead of email, we've used messenger bots, for example, which works in a very similar way. I don't know whether we'd still call it traffic you own because technically Facebook own it. So
I'd say you still own it because you can still advertise them for free. So if you're not quite sure with traffic you own, so like traffic you own is like email list, Facebook fan page, Instagram followers, messenger bot list, that kind of thing. So basically it's free because once you've gained that traffic, it's your traffic and you can send out messages to them as often as you want. It doesn't cost you anything, whereas if you're paying for advertising, you'd have to pay to get those people again.
A big piece of awareness around this is, even though it's such a sort of, I explained this as just sort of streamlined process from top to bottom, it often isn't like that. Often what it is that you have people in your funnel. We have people in our funnel that have been there for a year that we don't know about, that could surface at that bottom level in terms of, hey, can we schedule a 50-minute call? I've been following you guys for a while. Like we get messages sometimes of people that like watch our videos and listen to the podcast that we've never heard of before, and it's been like half a year. And you won't know about the people that are at the top of the funnel because there's so many of them.
Yeah.
You'll know the people at the bottom because they're the ones that are making the sales, making the calls, and sort of getting close to signing contracts and getting on board with you. But you won't necessarily know about what's happening at the top of the funnel. And people can jump around. There will be some people that will see like one video, see one piece of content on social media or one ad, one PPC ad or whatever, and they'll go straight into, well, they can go straight into a sale if you're sort of low ticket, if you're a low ticket e-commerce store. So for example, if you see an advert for something for I don't know, Boohoo or whatever, you can go, because it's so low level, you can just go straight from ads to purchase. You don't need to go and download the resource, be retargeted to, and things like that. It happens with larger investments as well. People will go straight from the top of the funnel into a quick call and make a purchase if they're quick decision makers, and there's not many decision makers involved. People can bounce around. People can go to the 15-minute call and figure out, oh, it's not actually very useful for me at the moment. They go back to the top of the funnel. They never really leave your funnel unless you annoy them and they don't want anything to do with you. But naturally, they won't ever really leave your funnel because they'll still have that awareness in their minds of you and what you do. And if you're doing things right, you're likely to, if they've been on your website, you're likely to be able to retarget to them via the Facebook pixel, PPC or whatnot as well.
Yeah.
For the people that have been on there before. So people might jump around between like the top, go back to the bottom, then jump back to the top. And but there will be some that will go straight from the top to the bottom. There'll be some that follow you closely with every single stage, get to the bottom and realize it's not for them. There will be some that will follow you closely and you'll know that it's a perfect fit right at the bottom, and they'll sign right there, right then.
Yeah. I mean, definitely. Like at the moment, our web traffic organically, it's doubling nearly every month, isn't it? So we're obviously getting a lot of people in the funnel. The YouTube channel, it's slowly growing. So there's more and more people in the funnel, and with that, as long as they've been on the website or engaged with the videos, then we can retarget them. So we did that a few months ago now. So we did it that was purely web traffic, and we did some retarget videos. And then from there, we did some we did retargets on a conversions campaign for people to book discovery calls, and then we got some bookings through that. So you can actually calculate like the cost per acquisition for a discovery call.
Yeah.
So if you work out the value of it, I think it was £5 or £10, something like that. So I generally can't remember the numbers. Like the sales pipeline, we can't really remember.
No, a lot of time you won't, because it will pivot depending on what you're doing. So 1 month we're focusing on one particular service because we have a good case study. 1 month we're pivoting into another thing, and it will be similar with you. And there's no reason why you can't have several different stages. So at the top funnel, you can have a very good SEO campaign. You can be putting out content on social media. So for example, our YouTube channel, even though it might not seem like it, but the videos we put out, the content we put out, we share it on LinkedIn and stuff. that's actually a very good source of the top of the funnel lead generation for us. Then we take the customer through that journey all the way down.
That's why consistency is good.
Exactly, yeah, and you can utilize many different strategies at the top of that funnel. It's just making sure that what's at the top aligns with the bottom. So what I mean by that is making sure that every element is consistent. So at the top of the funnel, for example, if the top of the funnel is an advert on social media for a weight loss program, I don't know why it's the first thing that came to my head, but
just look at me.
Let's
just coming far.
Brilliant.
I'm trying my best.
So let's say that you're selling you're a fitness coach or whatnot. The top of the funnel is an advert for a weight loss program. People click that and they go through to a landing page, and there's nothing about weight loss program. It's all about bulking. Means obviously something's not aligned. Your adverts aren't aligned with the next stage of the funnel, i.e. the website or the free ebook that you're trying to give them. So if you're funneling people with an advert for weight loss, but they go on the landing page and it's an ebook for weight gain and how to live a healthy lifestyle. So that right there, the connection between the top of the funnel and the second stage is a little bit broken, because the people that have clicked it are qualified in the mindset for, I want to hear more about the weight loss program. If they go on the landing page and there's nothing about a weight loss program available to them, there's going to be a bit of confusion and a decision-making progress, because already without knowing you at the first impression, they've lost a little bit of trust. And untrusted people and confused people don't buy anything, even if it's free. So make sure that everything sort of is aligned from the very top to the bottom. So when we put out an advert for a free SEO audit, for example, when they go to the landing page, when they go to the call, when they go to the proposal, everything is aligned with providing that prospect with an audit for the SEO, figure out what the issue is and how we can provide the solution. We don't hook in a prospect with an SEO audit and then take them through to a landing page and speak about how we can sell them a website, for example. Unless that's part of the solution that we come up with, but it's not something we do on the front end. It's something that we've derived from speaking to the client and figuring out what the issues are sort of internally, as opposed to guesstimating them. So just make sure that you have one clear goal for a funnel, and you know exactly what you want to do. I think the worst thing you can do is try to run like 7 different funnels at once.
Absolutely.
So
you should double down on one funnel.
Definitely
Optimize
double
that
down
funnel.
to one, yeah.
Get the cost per acquisition down, and ultimately rinse and repeat. And once you've got that ideal customer, once you've got a customer list, get it into Facebook. You use the email addresses, upload that customer database, create a lookalike audience, things like that, and just every bit of. So once you've got that customer, that perfect customer, make sure you make the use of that. At the very bottom of the funnel, you've paid a lot of money to get there. So you need to make them into loyal customers. So if you're e-commerce, you need to upsell, or even if it's service, you can upsell them. So if you've sold them a 3-month training package, you can sell them a 12-month training package. Because once someone's bought off you once, that's why people do low ticket sales, right?
Yeah.
So we offer like a thing called Power Hour. So people come in, they do consultations, £150, and then we do that, and then after we've got some great results for them, it's a lot easier to sell a monthly retainer. So
what people actually do is what's called a low, I forget the actual term. At the bottom of the value ladder, that's it, value ladder. What people will actually do is, instead of to qualify a client in some funnels, instead of giving them away something for free, like a free ebook, what they might do is give away something for very, very cheap. So literally something like an ebook for £10 or for £5, or for what we see actually a lot these days is shipping only. You get so many ads for shipping only.
Yeah.
And it's
you're paying for the book really as well.
You're paying for the book effectively, yeah. But what that allows people to do is have the illusion of, oh, it's a free book, I'm just paying for the shipping. Oh, I understand it's logistics of shipping. I don't want to waste money. Yes, but what that actually does in the background, in business terms, is as the business owner, you'll get to see who's actually got the confidence and the willingness to pull out the credit card, even if it's just for like £5. Because if they're willing to pull out the credit card for £5 for that small bit of value, they are much more likely to pull out the credit card to invest into a service that will ultimately help their business if you portray your value correctly to them, obviously.
Yeah.
Whereas people that are always lingering about getting the free stuff but never actually pulling out, investing into anything, they're the ones that you're always going to be a bit iffy about, because they've been there for a while, they're watching all the content, they're engaging with everything, you've had a few conversations with them, but they're still not making that decision to invest. And it is a big difference, if you're selling services for £2,000 a month, for example, and you're getting someone to invest £10 in an ebook. It may seem like, yes, of course someone can do a £10 ebook, but then they might not have money for that. But trust us, there's a lot of sort of psychological stuff to learn, that in terms of if someone's actually willing to to fork out that tenner for an ebook, they are much more likely to actually invest in something higher scale, because it's just proportion to them. If they know they're paying £10 for basically a 3-page ebook, then they know that they, for one-on-one services to help their business, they're not going to pay £10. They're going to likely to pay 100% more than that, 500% more than that. So it's just a bit of a psychological thing when you see those ads that are sort of free plus shipping. They're there to basically, they're there to cover the cost of the book or whatever it is, but they're predominantly to test you, whether you're actually qualified enough to pull out your credit card and pay for that, even if it's just a tenner. So that's a very, very good way if you want to bypass that free stage. What that will do, of course, is it will eliminate more people, so it will empty out the people at the stage of the funnel, but the ones that you're left with will be a hell of a lot more qualified than the what we'd call potential time wasters that are lingering around, get all the free stuff but never actually buying anything. It's just sort of being careful with that and make sure you're utilising that in the right way.
If people aren't converting, then you need to start to think about optimizing the middle of the funnel, so working on content to nurture the middle of the funnel. So you may need to increase retargeting or improve the content of retargeting, things like that. So it's just about testing, really, and finding the perfect funnel.
Consistency is very important, because as soon as you've got someone at the top of the funnel, you want to take them all the way down.
Yeah.
And what you don't want to do is put someone at the top, they're very happy, but then neglect them.
Yeah.
So, for example, using our example again, we put out all the content, people like it, and then one day if we stop and we don't put out any value, we don't give them anything for a month, who are we to then come in after a month and ask them for money for services? Because we've put them at the top of that funnel and then we neglected them for a couple of months. So always make sure you're putting out content and they're seeing it, and they're going to be seeing it if they follow, or you target them, or you retarget them with your website on Facebook, which is very, very important. Always retarget your traffic, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
And don't know if you have anything else to add to that.
Yeah, just to emphasize the bottom of the funnel. So once you've spent so long getting people through the funnel, retention's good, and probably the biggest thing that we get business from is happy customers. So happy customers sell you really well. So work on maybe a referral scheme. Maybe some people do affiliates to pass on business, but just have like a really good relationship. So if you're in ecom, maybe do birthday discounts. I know Subway, they give you a free cookie on your birthday, things like that.
Millie's Cookies give you a free cookie if you bring in your birth certificate on your birthday and your name is Millie, I believe.
Wow. So that's pretty cool. I didn't know that. But things like that. So that's why reward schemes are in place as well. So
I get a free Costa like every 6 months from Vodafone.
Wow.
They've got a thing with Costa where they send me a little coupon on my app and like, here's a Costa on us just at random every couple of months.
Wow. So Subway, they spent millions of pounds on TV ads, brand awareness, social, to get you into that shop and to buy. So once you're on a loyalty card scheme, then
definitely
they try and encourage you to come back. And once you've built some good points and you've got enough to afford a free sub, speaking from experience here, you can use that and then tell your friends that you've used it. It's great. And
just to end on that point, when you were saying that referral scheme, there's a really good book on that actually I read. It's called The Referral Engine.
It's by HubSpot, isn't it?
I don't think it's by HubSpot.
It's like
it's orange. I don't think it's by HubSpot.
No, I think it is. It's by the owner.
Really? I don't know that. Okay, that's something new.
I
read it, but I don't know if it's by HubSpot. Okay, interesting. Yeah, that's a really good book. It's Referral Engine. It basically shows you how to use your loyal clients to boost further sales and get more customers. So go give that a read. But we're running out of time here. If you have any more questions or want us to clarify anything that we've touched on, feel free to send us a DM or a message or an email. We're always open to have a chat, and I'm sure we can help you in some way. Have a good one.